So 40 minutes sitting in an airport queue for just one ride. No movement, no money coming in. When you finally get that trip, is it actually worth everything that you just gave up? Or are we all just sitting, donating our time to the waiting lot? So that big question that I want to answer is, if a smaller airport like Jacksonville International Airport that has 40, 50 people in the waiting lot, it's a smaller queue, is it actually worth it to park and wait in that queue? So if the numbers don't look that great with 50 cars here, then what do you think is going to happen if you're at one of these major airports like Miami, Orlando, or Atlanta, where you have 150 to 200 drivers and you're sitting in that same style queue, but you have a lot more competition? So what do you think? So I don't want you to just take my word for it. I want you to see the wait time. I want you to see the fare, and I want you to look at the effective hourly on screen so that you can make your own decision and decide for yourself. Is it worth me sitting at the waiting lot, or is it worth me just waiting to catch a trip and then get a return trip that way? Because when you do the tiers, depending on what you do, you're not always guaranteed 100% to get a ride return trip, but more often than not, you're going to, especially the lower the tiers that you do. But I want you guys to decide. I want you to see real time what happens, how it is, and then you can make that decision for yourself. Because at the end of the day, I know what I'm going to do, but what are you going to do? All right, so I did not get a ride to the airport, but I got a ride to the Jacksonville Zoo. The Jacksonville Zoo is literally right here. It's not that far, but Jacksonville Airport says right now, high earnings, short wait. There's only 11 cars, a couple black, whatever. You see the queue is not very big. So you're like, well, that's not bad. Go sit in that waiting lot. We're going to, but I want to show you one thing too. Let's take a look at Gridwise. Now Gridwise says there's 450 people landing right now, but that's flight details. You're going to see a lot of delays, but these are all the people that landed since 5:30 in the past hour. Most of these people are probably gone. These people right here are most likely needing a ride if they haven't already left. So that's the big thing. Now you got people that landed at 6:23, 6:25. Those people most likely are getting ready to need a ride by the time I get there. I'm still 10 minutes away. So we're going to sit in that queue. We're going to time it out, and we're going to see if it's worth it. But like I said before, with Gridwise, it shows that there's a lot of people. There's some people landed. Look, 150 people landed right there, 76. So it's not very many. And then you got 50. So that's not very many people that landed in the last hour. All these people from 5:30 are pretty much gone. Because it's 5:30, it's almost 7 o'clock. That's an hour and a half. This airport is small. It doesn't take that long for people to get on and off that plane. Not saying there could be one or two people. Maybe their luggage was delayed. Maybe they had another issue, whatever. But most likely, those people are no longer in that airport and they no longer need a ride. So what you're focused on is 30-minute window, 30 to 45 minutes. So 6:45, this 6:07, 6:20. So all these people, yeah, but that's 76 people. That's 50. That's not even 120 people. This flight's 120. It's delayed. This one's delayed. So you got 220 people and you got 76. These people are all landing within the next 10 minutes. So think about it. That's going to be 30 minutes most likely to when you got anybody landing. And Uber said high earnings but a short wait. But is that true? Well, we're going to find out, because right now I've been sitting here for almost 10 minutes. Actually, it's been about 8 minutes. Well, we're going to be fair. It's 6:42, so we're almost about 7 minutes. So it hasn't been too long, but as the data I showed you, it could be a long wait. And the fact that I'm doing XL and I'm doing black makes it even longer of a wait. But for me to just turn on X or do something that I don't normally do doesn't really help show, is this worth it? Because I would never sit up here and do it anyways. Why would I do it just for the video? Now, some things I do for videos, but I'm not going to do Uber X. I'm not going to do Comfort just for the video. But I'm going to do like I do at any normal time and do black and XL. And XL, you'll get a lot of trips with XL. Oh, I got a ride, $53 down there, right? It's an XL ride, but I don't know if I got it yet. So now that was 10 minutes of sitting there and I got a ride, and I actually got it. So that's surprisingly that I got that ride. So Sunday is a busy day for the airport. So we're going to test out getting a ride to the airport. And later on, I'm going to test out sitting in that queue, because I want to give you guys a good idea of what it really takes, not just getting lucky one time, or it's slow because I chose to go up there when it was, or just want to do it naturally as I do during the shift. Let's see what happens when I go to the airport. If I get a ride, if I don't, if I end up there, if I do it, how long it takes, do all that. I'm going to give you multiple data points. Now, I did it on Thursday. Friday didn't have much luck. Yesterday didn't have much luck either. I got pulled down to St. Augustine. I worked down there. Same time, I got to make money, but I want to show you guys exactly what it's like if you're actually driving around. Because, all right, so I got a ride to the airport. Now, this is $48, something like that. It's like close to 50 bucks, right? It's like 48, 49, something like that, right? It's from Sawgrass. I dropped them off, $48. So once they heading to the waiting lot, but I should get a return trip. So we're gonna see how long it takes to get a trip, but I'm gonna have to check to see how busy it is also, because I forget exactly how busy it is at the airport right now, and we're about to find out. Well, you did have a lot of people that just landed, so should be able to get a return trip. So we'll see how long it takes. It is 3:48. I picked them up at 3, so you're talking about 45 minutes. Now I'm dropping them off. Let's see how long it takes to get a ride, and then how long before I drop them off, and let's see how it works. Now this is dropping off, picking up, return trip, but I'm going to the waiting lot. Sometimes you'll get a ride before you get around this curve. Sometimes you have to go to the waiting lot. Most times you should get a ride before I get to the waiting lot, which is not that far, but sometimes I'll get one as soon as I drop them off. So it always depends. We'll see. So now you got not very many cars in the queue. We're gonna check again to see how many flights are landing, but they had a lot of flights landing in the past 20 minutes, 30 minutes. So getting a ride should be that hard. Probably gonna be easier getting XL than it will be to get black, but that's not always guaranteed either. But we'll find out here very shortly. So we're gonna look at the flight details. This is 3 o'clock. This is 2:30. So you had about 500 people landed at 2:30. 3 o'clock, you got probably another almost 700. I might say 700. So you got a lot of people landing. That was 2:30. It's 4 o'clock. Now I got a ride. We're gonna take it all the way to Sea Island or Fernandina. We got it. Let's go get it. Bam. So 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock, 2 hours, right? And I made $148. Now, one guy gave me a tip. This guy probably gave me a tip. I don't know, whatever, right? But literally 2 hours from pick up the first people to drop off the last guy from the airport. I literally picked up, dropped off, waited 5 minutes, picked up again, and just now dropped off. So that makes a huge difference. So you can see there's some delays, but they did have people land. But the problem is, you got 500 people landed at 5, it's 5:40. Well, actually, they might be there. You got some more people en route, so might get lucky. We'll see. You're gonna get something like that. Priority access. I don't need priority access, and it will lie to you because you won't get priority access. But see, this is why I like sitting at the airport, because I could be driving, working, making money somewhere else. Like literally, I'm just sitting here bored, doing nothing. And it's kind of hard to do anything because it's like, hey, I could be driving somewhere else. I could be making money. But that's why you'll get a lot of people that just sit there. Now, if you got a reservation, you got to sit there for 45 minutes. It makes sense. But if I don't have a reservation, what am I sitting there for? It don't make no sense. There is no reason. So you see, at 6:30, I still got the same 11 cars. I got like 6 Uber XL, but I still got the same cars. So you're talking 30 minutes, right? And I came back here because it was along the way. It wasn't like I drove all the way up here or anything like that. All these people landed, but would they need that? I don't know. You got these people just landed. This was delayed. These people are about to land. They're en route, so they could be circling. These people are running late. These people are running late. So you only got about 400 people. So you got to be mindful, like this 6:30, right? I could be driving around. I could still be in Fernandina. There's a surge. There's a surge up here. Technically, I'm not going to work this area, but I could go back up here. I could have stayed up there and worked. I was getting a lot of XL trips, but they were short. But there's been a surge there for literally an hour or two. I could have stayed up there and worked and done a lot of short trips. It's just a lot of XL. I didn't want to be, because you got nice weather, I didn't want to be stuck with people on the beach and sand and stuff like that. So that's why I was like, I don't know about that. But hey, sometimes you just got now I got like 10 people, I got this, I got all kinds of stuff. So I don't know, it's frustrating. So on Thursday night, well, I got a ride close to the airport, so I drove up there. Well, I got a $53 XL ride. Wasn't too bad, right? That was a solid one. That was a lucky one. But I was moving, right? I only sat there for a few minutes. The data said I wasn't going to really get a ride. I got lucky. I'll take luck any day. But those are the airport stories that drivers love to tell, and they do happen. You can absolutely get lucky, and you can have the airport make you feel like, wow, this is a real moneymaker. But then there is the other side, and that was today, Sunday, right? After I took those 2 trips and I went to Fernandina, I came back because I have to go back by the airport. So I was going to sit and wait. Now the data showed there were some people landing, but it was kind of tight, right? So I sat there for literally 50 minutes. And when I looked at it again, well, there was only 11 to 16 Uber Black drivers, 11 to 16 XL drivers in the queue. But after 50 minutes, I looked at the data, and literally all the flights were delayed. They weren't coming for at least another hour. But Uber still showed short wait, high earnings, all that. Anything to get you to come to the airport. But see, that is the trap. The app only pays you when you're moving. So all that time that you're sitting in the lot, that's still work for your body, for your schedule. But it's not work that you're actually getting paid for. So who really wants to add 2 extra unpaid hours to their day just to maybe get one good ride? Well, and this is where that data matters. With Gridwise showing me arrivals and departures, I can see whether there's a real wave of passengers landing and arriving, or if I'm just waiting for a bunch of delays. So on a good day, Uber showed me high earnings, short wait window, and flights that actually backed it up. So riding to the airport, right back out, well, it made sense. But on nights like tonight, without that information, you could easily drive up and you could sit there for an hour or two and talk yourself into waiting just a little bit longer while your real hourly tanks. So here's the takeaway from these days, right? If you ride to the airport, if you catch a ride, right? And then you catch a return trip quickly, right? Well, then the airport's great money. But if you get a ride to the airport and then you don't get that perfect trip, but you still get one, well, you're still made money the entire time because you're not parked. You're not wasting time. You're not sitting there. But if you drive up to that airport empty and you park in that waiting lot without checking that flight data, without having tools that help you, if you go based on what Uber tells you, well, you're gambling your time. A big payout on one trip doesn't mean much if you had to sit there for 2 unpaid hours. So use these tools, watch the arrivals, and be honest about how long you're really willing to wait in that waiting lot if the flights and the numbers don't add up. So go get some airport money if you can. But if they don't, literally, if the numbers don't add up, well, then leave, because you can literally make more money driving somewhere else by actually picking up passengers. The longer you sit in that waiting lot, the longer that your hourly rate or whatever you're trying to make goes down. That's the longer your shift's extended. Because Uber doesn't care at the end of the day. All it cares is there's people sitting there waiting. So when somebody does decide to order a ride, well, you're there for them. And that's all that matters. So think about it. How long are you willing to wait for that perfect trip? Is that perfect trip even worth it if you've been there for 2 hours? Think about all that, because at the end of the day, it's up to you. I know I'm not going to sit there. I'm going to sit there for a few minutes. If I don't get something, well, I'm going to go to a busier area and I'm going to actually make some money.